That gives me the next thing. Triple H was asked in an interview, not during a live show, not on a Raw, not on a Mania, not nothing, just on an interview about certain wrestlers not coming to WWE. Yeah. And Hunter eloquently described Will Ospreay as, I don't want guys who don't want to come here who are afraid of the grind.
Yeah.
Didn't say Will Ospreay, but we all know it was Will.
I can cut a promo, baby. I can sit right there if you want a Dusty Rhodes promo. That's right, Daddy. I've wined and dined with kings and queens. I feasted on alley and pork and beans, Daddy, if you will. I can do an Ultimate Warrior one. Hulk Hogan, there is no pilot in the plane. I can do whatever you need to do. Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. Macho Madness. Whatever you need me to do. Da-da-da.
Ric Flair.
Little bit of Flair. Look at that, man.
10 pounds of gold, baby.
Look at that belt, bro. Look at that robe, more importantly. Now that's a robe.
Yeah. Dave LaGreca, that is a robe.
Yes.
That crap that you have on. That
Fuck
is
Dave
a
LaGreca.
robe.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. I am Yankee T. This is my man Rebel B. Brian, how we doing tonight?
I am finer than a frog hair split 3 ways, and even though I am very sick, I am here to deliver the gospel of wrestling tonight.
I love it, brother. I love it. I'm a little bit under the weather myself, but we're going to power through this thing. Why? Because we love it and we love you people.
Oh, boy.
Before we get started, man, I want to shout out. Please support us. Patreon.com/Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. We greatly appreciate it. Need some energy? Go to w.gg and use code YR Wrestlecast for 10% off your order. And hey, if you want some merch or some Father's Day gifts coming up, I know Mother's Day just passed. Go to our shop, man. We got a lot of stuff.
Yes.
For the kids, the dogs, the dads. No support, guys.
We have got a very action-packed show tonight, and it is a lot of information. So what I need you guys to do first is to share this show. This show is going to blow your mind. We are getting better every week.
Share.
I think you guys are going to enjoy what we've got planned for you tonight.
Damn right they will.
We've got a lot of news to talk about. We've got our own draft that Tommy and I are doing tonight, and talking about some things you might not have heard. So let's jump right into it.
And to close us out, I'm going to show you all the new belt that came in.
That's right.
The new belt.
As you guys can see mine. Well, let's see if I can do this. Right there, I got mine hanging up. And got a new belt hanger to go with the, let's see where I'm over here. The Intercontinental Championship and the shitty AEW Heavyweight Championship. So.
Fuck you, Tony Khan. Fuck you.
All right. So let's, Tommy, let's jump into SmackDown tonight. It is an action-packed SmackDown. We've got King and Queen of the Ring qualifying matches, and we have for some reason, we have a face-off with Cody and Logan Paul tonight.
Oh. Gross.
Okay.
It's just gross.
All right. So, Tommy, where do you want to start?
Well, I'd say let's start from the bottom and work our way up. So, Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton. Oh, yeah, that's from your SmackDown shirt, right, the other week?
Yes.
Beautiful. I got to go with Tiffy on this one. My disdain for Bianca Belair.
Yes.
I can't stand this woman. So, It's Tiffy time. I'm booking it. Tiffany Stratton next Friday is going to be in the semifinals.
I will agree with that for one reason. If you're not going to put the strap on Tiffy time, you at least got to make her the queen.
Yeah. I mean, it works perfectly with her gimmick, and Bianca don't need it.
They made Zelina Vega. They made Zelina Vega queen of the ring. Why?
I don't know. I'm gonna discount that because that was a Vince move and he did nothing with it. I'm gonna have hope. Like I'm slate's clean. King and Queen of the Ring are going to mean something.
Yeah.
Because I think Hunter wants it to mean something.
It's going to mean just like when Booker T was king.
King Booker.
So I'm going to agree with you, Tiffany Stratton, winner of this qualifying match, because I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a buildup of losses for Bianca, and we're going to see an influx of wins for Jade, creating that clash that we want.
Yeah, which a little bit later than I wanted, but hey, it's eventually going to come to a head. We all know it.
Yep.
Next one we got is LA Knight versus the Bloodline Solos MFT. Tamatonga.
Tamatonga. I just like saying that. Tamatonga. He's just come out of nowhere, bro.
Dude, I know.
I still think LA Knight wins this because how else are you going to make LA Knight relevant at this point? Since you haven't put a strap on him yet, make him king. Make him king.
Here's my dilemma.
Yeah.
They've booked Tamatonga and the Bloodline, as kind of like impervious to anybody, effing with them. So I'm split because LA Knight, I think, deserves this win. At some point, the hot flame is going to burn out if you don't put some gasoline on there. So I want LA Knight to win, but somehow I think Tamatonga and the Bloodline are going to move forward, which is going to lead me into the next one. Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes. We all know Randy's been talking about the Bloodline since he came back and was on Raw, saying if he can get his hands on them, he's going to do some business. This is where I can kind of see that all coming to fruition.
Yes.
Which might cost him the match.
Possibly.
And
Carmelo Hayes is really hot. I mean, he didn't look impressive in the SmackDown match against Cody on draft night to a couple spots, but this kid's going to be a stud.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect if you have, two studs in LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes in the semifinals, man. I think that's great. Yeah. You're elevating your top tier talent, and as good as Tamatonga is, he's not a main event wrestler yet. He literally just came here. I know his pedigree, but he's not the guy. So I feel like if you're going to push the guy, have that story with Randy in the Bloodline if you want to, but give LA Knight and Mello that push.
Yeah. Dummy! Yeah.
Such a great game. That's so good.
Let's talk about the next match in the Queen of the Ring, and that's Jade and Nia. Everybody on this show that watches knows mine and your love for Nia Jax.
Oh, there is no hiding that love.
But there's no hotter star right now than Jade.
Nope.
And if Jade slams Nia,
oh, it's gonna be a slam heard around the world, baby.
SmackDown is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
That place the roof is going to explode.
Yeah, and when Jade does that and then hits her with Jaded, holds her up and slams her, that pop's going to be huge. And you're definitely going to start to see in the next couple of weeks those cracks in the foundation of Bianca getting jealous. And like I said, Bianca needs to turn heel. She's too stale.
Agreed. I'll agree with
Seriously.
that. I want Nia to win, but I know that Jade is so ready to shine. I can actually see her winning this, but Tiffany Stratton, it's her time. It's her time.
So then here's my question then. If Jade's so white hot and they put Tiffy and Jade in the semifinals, you think they got Tiffy beating Jade already? After Jade went undefeated for how long in AEW?
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
that matters.
What happened to Cody when he came? He got beat. I think that is the repercussion for people crossing the river.
But I mean, she technically was never in WWE. So like it's not like Jade was there, went to AEW and came back. She was in AEW from the get-go. So it's not like she defected and came back like Cody did, which I could see for him, but I I think if you're gonna book realistically Jade and Tiffy, Jade wins this one in a banger match, like banger match to main event the show, which I would hope it would, and then you have maybe Tiffy win the Money in the Bank. I honestly think that would be better for her. Give her some time to get her feet wet on the roster, and she can pick her spot. She doesn't have to be in just have her pick her spot.
Yeah.
I think that'd be better for her because Jade's a bigger draw on the card. You put
She
Jade's
is.
name on the card, and Jade, if they do it how they did back in the day, which I hope they do, she should get a match at SummerSlam, kind of like how Lesnar did it with The Rock. That's how I think they should do it. King and Queen of the Ring, SummerSlam main event, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I think is how it should be booked.
Lexington 316 says I just whooped your ass.
You bet your bottom dollar, daddy.
So let's get to the elephant in the room. Cody and Logan Paul facing off. Is this going to end up being a title for title match?
I hope not. I seriously hope not. Because you're not going to have Cody. If Cody loses that belt, which he's not, if they have Cody lose that belt and give the belt to Logan Paul, I will not be watching.
He'll change it to the Prime World Heavyweight Championship, the douchebag.
Of course. I mean, they already got his goddamn bottle on the PLE mat, for God's sake. Of all things to put on the mat, like to break all WWE tradition, you put his goddamn bottle on the PLE mats.
Kid could quit wrestling right now and make enough money to help him the rest of his life.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's already close to being a billionaire off this Prime crap.
Yep.
Tastes like cough syrup.
We might as well have Mr. Beast manage him at this point.
I mean, I'd actually kind of prefer that, sadly.
Yeah. But that's a look at your SmackDown for tonight. It's an action-packed SmackDown, going to be some banger matches, and it's going to start here at 8 o'clock Eastern. And
it's going to be some interesting storylines coming out of this.
Yeah, very much so. Let's move on to the next on to the next thing. I just can't believe this. This has blew my mind. Hang on just a second. Let me.
Oh man.
So
you're not going to believe the story behind this photo, everybody. That is Liv Morgan's mugshot.
Liv Morgan's mugshot.
Because
she has now become the Jeff Hardy of women's wrestling.
How did she get in this position, good sir? Please enlighten us.
She was driving and she was swerving in the road. No pun intended. And there was an emergency police officer on an emergency trying to get past her, and she was swerving in the road. And he pulled her over and found a little 20 twin vape up in her car. little smoky smoke, and she's like, I don't know how that got there.
Yeah, of course
That's
not.
not
They never
my
did.
vape. You can look in her eyes. She's higher than a corn husk in Nebraska right there. She's higher than Method Man and
I mean,
all of Wu-Tang put together.
if you could zoom in, just look at the dilation on the eyes. I mean, it's nuts, and she looks like she's gonna kill you. Either that, or she just is like, where am I?
She looks like one of those teachers that gets arrested for finding out that she has an OnlyFans.
Former teacher was adult movies. Oh, it's so bad. It it's like, oh, Miss Liv, what, she's so great with Johnny. Come to find out, the next day, oh my, it's so bad. That
Yeah.
is so bad. Oh my god. So
Yep.
I know we
So
talked
Liv
about this.
Morgan arrested.
Yeah, I know we talked about this off air, but you know, what do you think's gonna come of this? Do you think they're gonna punish her? Do you
How many
think they're
times
just...
did they punish Jeff Hardy at the start?
No, but I mean, you've seen what they've done with Jimmy Uso, though. Even his first couple, like he was suspended and all this shit for how many weeks and months. So
Well, the thing is, did she disrupt the substance abuse policy of WWE, which is kind of non-existent now thanks to RVD?
yeah, I mean, I wish they were a little bit looser with it, which I think they will be. So they'll probably have a talking tour, like, seriously, like, don't be stupid. But Rob, hashtag it wasn't me. Oh, we
All
just
right,
need to
so
play
we're
some
gonna get off of this because I'm not even mad about it. I'm like, if somebody can take that kind of mugshot, more power to you. More
Yeah.
power to you. Hang on a minute. Let me go back to. I figured you'd love this graphic I put in the right hand corner.
Rip AEW. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's your guy too.
I mean, oh yeah, Pencil Neck Con, that dumb fuck. Oh my god. Seriously.
I told you
But
we're stepping up the production this week.
I know. Enough of him. Enough of that asshole. Swerve versus Christian. I want to just start off this topic, Brian, by saying WWE really fucked up with Christian.
I agree.
And I'll explain a little bit why. Because I was listening to an interview that Edge did, and I'm not sure when it was taken. I think it was a couple weeks prior, but he was talking about how WWE had a ceiling for Christian, and no matter what he did, he couldn't get over that Vince ceiling of Christian. You are here. Edge is up here, and I'm going to clearly make that known. And no one's ever doubted Christian. I mean, he's Captain Charisma. The man can pull you in if you allow him to, and he's doing the best work of his career right now.
Yes.
I mean, he is one of the biggest heels in the business, not in AEW, in the business right now, and I think he's filling a void that MJF has left pretty damn well. And he's so hateable. I mean, he keeps talking about people's daddies all the time, which kind of confuses me a little bit.
He wants to be their daddy.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Daddy Christian.
That doesn't sound weird at all. But, I mean, he's doing the best work of his career and, in my opinion, is outshining the world champion.
Yeah.
I mean, Swerve doesn't even feel like he's the world champion to me.
I don't feel that he is. I mean, you gave him a little momentum thinking that his boys were going to have his back, and then Christian bought him out. and they beat his ass in the ring.
Dude,
But
I
I
saw
just think that Swerve's run is irrelevant. And I feel like this was we really don't have any hot talent. Let's just put the belt on Swerve. Because here's the problem that I have with this entire thing. This is Double or Nothing. This is AEW's WrestleMania.
literally. I mean,
And
it
your
was
main
their
event
first
is
pay-per-view
Christian
ever.
versus Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, I think it would have been a little bit better if you kept that belt on Joe. I mean, seriously,
Absolutely.
Joe and Christian, that's a great main event match. I mean, I'll take that
Yeah.
all day long. But I mean, to be quite honest, Swerve, I don't think has earned it yet. I mean, I think he should have got a longer run, as the TNT champion. He should have been, going up against Edge and all this stuff like that. But
Yeah.
to thrust him in the world title spot when he's not ready, and I don't think he has that kind of following. Like he's not a company guy. He's not like an MJF who can elevate the company, and it's just,
I mean, I'm all for a baby face becoming world champion. That's great. But it's like Swerve's trying to be this anti-hero, kind of like CM Punk.
He's not.
And he's not.
Punk is a one of one. Don't try it.
Yeah. So I feel Christian has got this in the bag. You've got to put that strap on Christian because he to me is the most interesting part of AEW right now.
Absolutely. He's very captivating. I mean, I listen, I turn the volume up when this man speaks because I want to hear what he's going to say because it's impactful.
Yeah.
And what Swerve Strickland's doing, I mean, he had a great build up with Joe. Like, I thought his build up with Joe was good, but Joe shouldn't have lost that match.
I agree.
Rob saying AEW is going to sleep through greatness if they aren't real careful. We've been saying that for weeks. If they don't get their shit together, man, it's going to go down, and it's going to go down fast.
Yes.
Because, I mean, as much as I love Jericho, he's starting to. You're starting to see more and more the slowly downward trend of his career. I think we're getting closer and closer to the end of it. So you're not going to have the names like Chris Jericho. And I mean, Edge said he may have a year or two left. Like all these big
Sting's
guys
already gone.
And Sting's gone. You have no names. You're not going to have any names soon.
And I think Jericho will go back to WWE for a little bit and retire.
Maybe. He's been very adamant about he wants to retire in AEW. But I haven't heard much talk about him lately since Hunter's taken over, so I don't know if that's changed.
He's a WCW guy, man. He's a WCW. He's a WWE guy. There was nothing hotter than his entrance when he came from WCW to WWE.
I know.
Nothing hotter.
I know. I would like to see that, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know eventually he's going to get inducted in the Hall of Fame. He's going to headline the class. We all know that,
Yeah.
If they had a ballot, he'd be the first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. Just a matter of when, because he just doesn't seem like he wants to stop ever.
Well, WWE, which did they put Sting in the Hall already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He was in back, I want to say it was like 16 or 17, somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because that was when he came back with Authority and, they had the all that stuff. Yeah, so Sting was in before he came to AEW, so he's already set.
Gotcha.
So
all right, let's jump. You ready to jump into the main part of the show?
Dude, I've been waiting all week for this. I haven't got my little pen, pad, and paper, right here, so I am all ready to go, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the official Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast WWE Draft. Now, what's going to take place here is Tommy and I are going to draft 7. We're going to go 7 rounds. We are then going to put these 7 rounds into a simulation in 2K24, and we're going to see, and we're of course going to update you guys and blah, 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 but we're going to see who the dominant draft is. Okay, so Tommy, you get first pick because you have SmackDown.
Wonderful. You know,
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. With the first pick of the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast draft, SmackDown selects CM Punk.
Okay. Not nice. All right, I can dig it.
I figure round 1, we got to go with a guy who's been there, done it all, can be the carrier of the SmackDown flag. Voice of the voiceless, baby.
All right. With the first pick in the Raw side of the draft of the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast, Rebel B selects the Bloodline.
Ha ha, you bastard. That was going to be my next pick if you hadn't have done that.
I want
Oh.
I want a dominant force on Raw, a force that can be reckoned with, a force that will be reckoned with, and future champions on our 2K24 draft.
Really?
Yep. Go for it.
Round 2, man. You put me in a hole here because I had them almost penned in, but you know what? I'm glad you took them. I really am, because as dominant as you think they are, Mr. Rebel Brian, as I pen in the Bloodline on here, I want you to type in on that number 2 for the second round. SmackDown selects Imperium.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
you want a dominant faction? Right now, the Bloodline doesn't have a dominant leader. And I'm going to show you why Gunther is a force to be reckoned with.
I'm not going to be mad with that. So, my thinking, the Bloodline needs somebody to rival with. And this one's coming in far right field, bro. So with the second pick of the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast draft for Raw, Rebel B selects the Wyatt Six.
Ooh. The undebuted Wyatt Six. We don't even know what we're getting with these guys.
Eric Rowan was seen in the Performance Center. Alexa Bliss was seen at a past Raw.
Uncle Howdy, we know.
Uncle Howdy.
Bliss is master of the King's
Alexa, stop. I don't know what she's even doing. I said Alexa, that's why. Alexa, stop.
The Wyatt Six, man. That's
the Wyatt Six.
Oh. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Oh, man. That one caught me off surprise. You kind of got me. You kind of got me looking here. Like,
did you see the video of Uncle Howdy at Raw?
I did.
He's just standing out in the crowd, and there's a spotlight on him. Nobody talking about it. Nothing.
Yep. I know, dude. Those QR codes, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. All right. With the third round draft pick for SmackDown, I'm just going to do it because it needs to be done. I'm going to pick. Well, granted, she's not. Oh, no, I can't do that. It would affect the simulation, so I can't do that. But what I'm going to do is take the first female.
Okay.
And that female is my baby, Nia Jax.
That's not bad because I had her in my next 2 rounds.
She's going to be I predict the most dominant women's champion that we will see.
All right, I'm also gonna go with females in this particular draft. Thanks for fucking up my draft.
You're welcome, asshole.
Uh, I in the third round of the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast draft, I am selecting the Kabuki Warriors.
Ooh, that's some badass women.
Asuka and Kairi Sane.
That's some badass women right there.
Yes.
That is some badass women. You know, with my next selection, I'm thinking about a team that could even go up against Imperium. Because I'm just thinking Punk can can do laps around Gunther as far as talking. He can carry that part of a storyline if they had to. Gunther obviously can wrestle so that they have their thing. Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci need someone to go up against. And I just love these cats so much that I want to give them the push they need. And I'm going to draft the Creed brothers, man. I like
Really?
them. Yeah. Left field pick. I love these dudes. They're great in the ring. And I think they're the next rising stars in the tag team division.
All right.
And I want
Well,
to secure that.
I am going to give the Kabuki Warriors some fight. And I am choosing the tag team champions, Bianca and Jade, as my fourth pick.
Interesting. Is Jade in the game? Is Jade in the game?
There is a creative player that's already done.
That's true.
Because see, Punk was just released in the DLC.
Oh, I know. I love seeing that entrance in the game again, dude. Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I've picked all like factions almost. That's crazy.
Yeah, you have. Well, I would be remiss if I didn't pick this guy because of who I picked earlier.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give people what they want, and I'm gonna select Drew McIntyre.
Really?
Yep.
Are you going to do a Drew and CM Punk rivalry?
I'm thinking about it, man. It's way too good, man.
Damn it.
It is way too good. McIntyre's coming into his own as a talker. And let me just say, that's money right there.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I spelled McIntyre wrong. All right. On my fifth pick of the draft, I'm going to choose the guy that everybody's talking about. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good pick, you asswipe. God. I wish you weren't semi good at this because damn. Just God damn it. So
we have 8 rounds. I'm sorry. We have 8 rounds.
Who is LA Knight gonna go after?
We'll get there.
Okay. All right. I was just seeing if you had an idea kind of who he'd be going after, man. But let's see. I'm gonna give Nia Jax somebody to go up against because she needs a running mate. And with the what do we got? This is the 6th round. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I just want it and I love this chick. Bailey, give me Bailey.
Okay. I'm not going to hate on that.
Give me Bailey.
I'm getting ready to just blow your mind.
Correction, it's Bayley. Put some
Oh.
respect on Bailey's name. Thank you very much.
B-A-Y?
Yes, Ley.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm a wrestling fan, not a speller. All right, I'm getting ready to blow your mind because you didn't even think about this, Tommy. With the 6th pick in the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast draft, I select Rebel Brian as his own created character. Yeah!
Oh!
Yeah!
Oh! Man.
Oh,
Okay.
shit!
Okay. All right. You want to pull a fast one on me? That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And I'm going to come out in a pink robe.
I hope you do. And when we have Survivor Series and we're both champions, your ass
Yes.
is going to get whipped. Yeah. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. 7th round. Take a look at the talent pool here real quick. You know, we said everybody's available, correct? Anyone you could think of is available? Okay. You have the bloodline, right? Currently as a, Solo and them.
Yeah.
I'm going to draft the OG bloodline.
Oh.
Roman Reigns and the Usos.
Okay.
I'm going OG bloodline. Not this watered down.
Okay. I see you. I see you.
Yeah. Think you put a fast one on me. Not up in here.
Yeah.
Not up in here.
With the 7th pick in the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast, Rebel Brian selects KO.
Ooh.
There's one person I just cannot believe that we have not picked yet, but
Hey, that's perfect because as we go through this, we can add to it and we can make it a little bit of a deeper pool. So, all right, I guess on my 8th and final pick, I suppose we'll save the best for last. The man of the hour, man who's too sweet to be sour. We're going to draft for the 8th overall selection on SmackDown. Yankee T, baby. I had to do it. You gave me no other choice. I didn't want to have to invoke myself, but you made me invoke it. So pen to paper, Yankee T is going to come, and he's going to run roughshod on Friday nights.
So
just don't let me catch you on my show.
So with the 8th and final pick in my draft, I am selecting the champion, Cody Rhodes.
Why don't you go get your robe and you join all your Cody crybabies, you hypocritical son of a bitch.
Well, now I've got the women's tag titles, and now I have the undisputed title. So Universal. So
you can have it. You can have it because with that, you have Cody Rhodes and Prime. You can take all those bottles of Prime that LA Knight said you can shove them where the sun don't shine.
This is a good start to the draft, though. This is going to be nice.
Yeah, and I think, incrementally throughout as we, delve deeper into the simulation, add more people to it. And you see how it goes.
Sorry, I'm getting messages. All right, so I've saved that. I'll send you a copy of that, Tommy.
Wonderful.
Let's jump into our next section here. And that is,
ladies and gentlemen, the Alpha Academy.
The Alpha Academy. This is probably one of the best storylines, period, right now.
Yeah, I love what they're doing with Chad Gable. I think it's long overdue, and I think he needs to be taken seriously. I mean, the man is extremely talented. Probably the closest thing skill wise to Kurt Angle that we've seen in quite some time. And like I said, it's about time they put some respect on his name and make him a legitimate threat and not a cartoony.
Yeah. How,
Hey,
how long until
yeah.
Otis, Tozawa, and Blonde Barbie? How long until they turn on Chad Gable?
I mean, it'll take some time, but I mean, honestly, let's be perfectly honest. What has Tozawa ever done? What is the greatest thing that happened to Otis isn't even with the company anymore,
Yeah, but he also won Money in the Bank.
which then got taken away in court by the Miz. So I mean, do we really want to go down that road? Do we really want to go down this road? I mean, I mean, once the Alpha Academy disbands, they're not going to be on television anymore.
Yeah.
That's just what's going to happen to them. So give Chad the push he deserves, because if they do this right, man, I can see a future IC champion, future US champion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind. I would definitely like to see the U.S. title on Chad Gable than I would Sami Zayn right now.
That's fair. I mean, he's a former Olympian. I mean, it only makes sense. Knock that. Well,
Oh, sorry. I was going to our next spot because that's
so
really all I wanted to talk about in
so
the.
I just want to correct you. So Sammy's the IC champion. So we need Chad to knock off Logan Paul. That's what we need
Yes,
to do.
anybody to knock off Logan Paul. I don't care if they bring back Dilberg or whatever his name was.
Hey, if they
Gilbert,
can
yeah.
make.
So the next thing I want to jump into is what's happening with this, other than her getting caught with vapes. Are we starting to see Dom not appreciate mommy anymore, and he's checking out some Liv Morgan, wanting to kind of test the waters a little bit?
I mean, let's see. We got Prison Dom. You got Jailbird Liv. They both can have their crime stories about how
They both done time.
they both did time. And mommy's gone, and Dom's looking out there like, hey, we got some other talent out there, and hey, Liv Morgan, why don't you come on over?
What's up? What's
I
up?
mean, it makes sense if they went this route because they already got some heat. Rhea and
Yeah,
Liv don't like each other. They have the history, and that would just add insult to mommy's injury.
and maybe Dom is still sore over the custody match between Ray and Eddie, and he's like, okay, who's going to have the custody match for me again? I could see it happening.
Dude, that would be amazing. As dumb as it sounds, it would be amazing. Dom, the only person to have a custody match twice.
Yes.
Dom, or
I
in
mean, look,
general.
he still even has the freaking teardrop on his freaking eye, dude.
Oh, looking more and more like his father every day. Love it. I love it.
So stay tuned to this story. I think there's going to be something to this, eventually. So I know we're going through some things pretty quickly, but
Yeah, I
this is
mean,
fun.
next we got Mr. Pat McAfee.
Yes, we do.
See
And
some hot water.
Pat McAfee in trouble.
No
Tell
way.
us what he said, Tommy.
I mean, to make a long story short, he put out some tweets during Raw when Adam Pearce was talking to Braun Breaker and basically saying that Braun Breaker has every right to be upset and it doesn't make any sense why he's not in it because underneath this tweet, another fan tweeted, and I quote, Adam Pearce didn't put Braun Breaker in the tournament because he just got here. Okay? Also, Adam Pearce, puts Ilya Dragunov in the tournament despite him just getting here. So, I mean, tell me the hypocrisy that Pat McAfee is just simply calling out.
Remember what Eric Bischoff said, controversy creates cash.
And Pat McAfee's a cash cow right now, man. He's made Michael Cole fun again. He is rejuvenated just the love and just people getting into it. Like, I mean, you see him doing the yeets every week. It almost got him bitch slapped by Gunther. I mean, he is so good for the business, and he's a guy I could get behind, not that Logan Paul bastard.
I wore my Logan Paul Sucks shirt out one day and had some people agree with me. So,
you know what you need to do? You need to. I think actually both of us should do it. Every time we wear that shirt out, and we get people to agree, we should just have them sign the shirt. Have them sign it, so that one day we'll come in and wear our shirts. We'll have all these signatures. Everyone who thinks Logan Paul sucks, just to prove our point.
It's almost like we're getting like signatures to like do something.
Exactly.
Okay. Kind of digging that. Just to be honest, I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah.
So let's jump into something that I know you haven't heard a lot about, but I've been doing a lot of research on. And that is the possible rumor of a bloodline match. And let me find my El Grafico if I've... And this is what we're looking at the possibility of. I saw a rumor that The Rock is going to be on the other side, along with Solo and Tamatanga, and you'll have the other dude as the enforcer, which I haven't got a chance to really worry too much about yet. But so this is what we could possibly be looking at: is a bloodline versus bloodline match for Survivor Series.
It's interesting.
And isn't it interesting that team would have to find a fourth?
So with the bloodline now, you got Solo, you got Tamatanga, you got Tangaloa, so you got the Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas.
So wouldn't they both need to find a fourth one? Because
we know the other one is Jacob Fatu.
Well, hold on. We don't know that quite yet, actually. Because I've been reading stuff on him saying that they don't want to debut Jacob Fatu because they actually think he would outshine Solo Sikoa if he was brought on, which might make them switch what side they put him on. Which would effectively, you could put him...
Well, you have The Rock, though. See, you have The Rock, and you've got the other three members of the new bloodline, so you have four there.
Over with the OG bloodline.
Yeah, yeah.
Which would make sense because he's a Fatu. The other two kids are both Fatus.
Yeah.
It only makes sense. And then because Jacob ain't going to outshine Roman. We all know Roman, he's a tribal chief. No one's going to outshine him. So you could safely put Jacob there, and there's your mid-card dude right there from the get-go.
Yeah.
That's your man. That's your new enforcer. And
I like it.
That's money to me, baby.
That is straight cash.
Give me War Games with OG Bloodline with Jacob and the New Age Bloodline with the final boss.
Yes.
Give me that at War Games.
Just take my money now.
Seriously. We'll go there. I don't even care where it is. Just take my money and we'll go.
Yes.
I love this.
So that's the rumor that's going around. We'll see how it pans out because I've saw rumors that Roman's going to come back. who knows? I mean, it could just be bullcrap, but who knows what could possibly happen?
Just take my money and take it now.
So that actually brings us to our final, I guess, production spot until we rant like we always do. And that is the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view.
Our premium live event.
Live Saturday, May 25th at 1 p.m. I hate these early pay-per-views.
Yeah. I also, just a quick thing just about the PLEs. I heard an interview with Dana White, and I'm not sure if it was a slip or what he wants to have happen, but he mentioned that the PLEs are going to be moved back to Sundays.
That would be killer, but I like them on Saturday because usually on Saturday you're up late, you still got another day.
The only reason being, I think, is because of them and UFC being under the same roof.
Yeah.
The UFC pay-per-views have always been on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have them clash at the same time.
That's a good point.
So I think they might be moving WWE to Sunday because technically TKO owned UFC first. So I would think they would get kind of the first dibs on whatever. And I mean, honestly, wrestling's traditionally been on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like AEW is the only one who made it on Saturday.
Which their next pay-per-view is on Sunday.
It's just so bizarre. It's so hard to keep up, but yeah, I think the King and Queen of the Ring, it's going to be a great show. I'm not really looking forward to Cody versus Logan. I could honestly do away with that, to be quite honest. But I think the rest of the card's going to be good. It'll be interesting to see how they book the King and Queen of the Ring. I hope it's like I mentioned earlier, like how they did it back when Lesnar won King of the Ring, and they made this the main event for SummerSlam, so they had time to build it up. But yeah, we'll see who they have in the finals. Who they have.
I don't think they will, man. I think they'll do it that night.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, unfortunately, because one, they're in Saudi Arabia. It's the perfect pay-per-view for Saudi Arabia, crowning kings and queens, feasting on alley and pork and beans, daddy, if you will. And it's just the perfect place. Plus, that WWE experience is now open, so you're going to be able to have events there before the pay-per-view and all that, and they're going to make a big to-die out of it. And I think that we will see both of those people crowned that night.
Oh yeah. So I'm not saying that they won't. What I was saying is the winners of the tournament, which they'll crown that night, I think will be in the main event of SummerSlam and get to pick which champion they go up against, is what I was trying to say.
I like that.
Because that's what I was saying about the whole Lesnar thing. When Lesnar won, he faced The Rock at SummerSlam, and they had a build up to that. So that's what I think and what I would prefer that they do, because then it gives your top two pay-per-views, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, some more purpose and also puts emphasis on the King and Queen of the Ring and makes it
I agree with that.
Legitimate, relevant title. And give the tournament a little more prestige and actually make it mean something,
I mean, you could actually do this and get rid of the Money in the Banks.
Yeah, but the Money in the Bank's just a different aspect, though. Because the Money in the Bank, you can cash in wherever. The King and Queen of the Ring, to me, it just puts more emphasis on the two big pay-per-views. So you have, because SummerSlam is just WrestleMania in the summertime.
Yeah.
So it just, if they make this legit as I think they should, and how I think they should, I think it'll make WWE just a lot more fluid.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. So with that said, I know I kept us at an hour. That is craziness.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. But it's it's going to be a little bit different because we won't ever always have an hour show because we'll have so much to talk about, which I felt like we had a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, it's just with it being the King and Queen of the Ring, there's not a whole lot of extra storyline stuff that's being added in. So it's kind of, meat and potatoes right now until you get past it. And then you'll probably have more, the CM Punk and McIntyre stuff will really start to heat up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Seth Rollins comes back sometime soon because I think, that would kind of boost the ratings too. And just get Logan Paul off television. That'll do a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think more people tune out when he's on. I don't think he. I, I just can't see him helping.
I can't either. And I'm going to try to do a live streams of any time that we're doing our simulations for 2K24 for our draft. So
Absolutely.
that kind of like a little extra for everybody
Yeah,
and allow them to check out what we're doing with the draft.
yeah, and maybe what we could do is like when we get on there, maybe we could just go off the cuff and just fill out the roster with whoever's on there and just make our all-star rosters and have them go head to head.
I agree. I feel like Tyler Breeze and Xavier Woods in the GM seats now. Tommy ran us out. Tell me something that you want to talk about as we're closing out. I'll do the same.
One thing that I keep harping on, and I'm going to keep harping on it because I feel like it affects the overall health and competition in professional wrestling, is the state of All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they are, at this point, such a vital part of professional wrestling right now, even though they're not the top dog. But the fact that they do so many, cross promoting with New Japan and TNA, and obviously they own Ring of Honor. The fact that they just keep sliding further and further down is honestly sad. And I mean, like, I get mad and I rant about Tony Khan this, Tony Khan that, but at the end of the day, you and I both love AEW. We've gone on the Jericho cruise. I mean, that's how we met.
Yes.
I mean, we've gone to countless AEW shows, and we love the product. It's different in a good way, but just having lived through, and you know this more than I, off firsthand, seeing the rise and fall of WCW, they're right on that path.
Yeah.
And path and timeline and everything. Because honestly, what top stars do they have currently that are really homegrown? I mean, they screwed up Wardlow big time.
Darby is no longer he's no longer a shot because Sting's gone.
Right. And you got, Adam Cole that's been, on and off hurt, who I love, by the way.
MJF, Britt Baker hasn't came back.
No, all their top people are gone. I mean, and you got Edge and Christian basically holding down the fort.
What is this, 2006?
I mean, seriously. And granted, Christian's great. Edge is great, but they're not your long-term answer.
No.
So I just don't know where they're going, what they're doing, besides just reacting to WWE rather than focus on themselves.
Yeah.
So I am urging them to put a little more care into what they're doing and stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. Just focus on your stuff, man. Because I don't want to see AEW go because I don't want to see the competition falter. I want there just to be that week-to-week battle. But I don't know, man.
I think as long as Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez is still alive, there will always be an AEW.
I think that's our next shirt. Fuck Dave Meltzer. and, and just give him a 0-star.
Zero
Rating.
star. Or a half a star. We'll give him a half a star for as long as he's been doing it.
All right, man.
So,
What you got?
so my rant is a little bit different. I miss old wrestling. I don't mind new stuff, and I don't mind the direction WWE is going. I do mind the direction AEW is going because it's poor leadership. But NXT right now for me is almost like old NWA. And I have been watching NXT more than I've been watching any other product lately.
Wow.
Maybe I just like the people coming up. Maybe I just like the fact that these are our next generation. But all I've been doing lately is watching NXT and old wrestling.
Let's be honest, Brian. You just like singing, "Whoop that trick, whoop that trick."
I mean, it's really good. It's not bad, and even The Rock's daughter is a decent GM.
Yeah.
And I just like the product right now. I think that NXT, it's not the NXT with Samoa Joe and the Undisputed Era and Ciampa and Gargano at the top of their game,
I
and
love that era,
Charlotte
by the
Flair and Bayley coming out to the bullshit and everything. It's not that NXT. It's like Sean is focusing on the wrestling now instead of the personalities. Because he knows when they get to the main roster that they're going to be reformed anyway. So Sean is like wanting to give us a wrestling product.
Yeah, and some of the guys' personalities, like Carmelo, like Trick, they'll just naturally exude on camera.
Yes.
But he's letting their in-ring work do the talking, and then as they go up, obviously Hunter obviously knows a lot of them because he signed them, so he can kind of mold them that way. But it's not like the old school, as to say Triple H would mold them to what we'd like them to be, and then Vince
Superstars.
reforms them, and then Vince just reforms them completely. So,
but I do like it. I like the fact that guys like Baron Corbin and Gallows and Anderson are there to help give those guys and girls a world view. As Gallows and Anderson's been to Japan. They've been champions in Japan. Baron Corbin won Money in the Bank and lost. He can give you those guys can give you that real in-ring awareness that this is what could possibly happen to you.
yeah.
And I like that aspect. I like that Natalya went to NXT and Becky Lynch went to NXT for a little bit. And I think that run with her and Tiffany Stratton is what made Tiffany Stratton a superstar.
Yeah. Yeah. And, seeing that NXT, while it's still not considered like a main roster brand per se, it's being legitimized by like Becky Lynch going down and all those people going down to kind of give the younger talent a rub before they get up there. It's making those talent, like you said, like Tiffany, more legit.
Yeah. So with that being said, fuck Dave LaGreca. And
Logan Paul sucks.
Yeah. And we'll be back next week with even greater stuff. We'll talk about the upcoming King and Queen of the Ring PLE. We'll talk more about tonight's SmackDown. We'll talk more about Raw on Monday, and see what direction we're heading in with WWE. See how they're changing every week on certain things, and seeing who's becoming a jobber and who's not. That's what I really want to talk about next week is who are our current jobbers. Because one, it's not Ricochet. Because Ricochet won the Speed Championship. That actually makes him legitimate.
Yeah.
Not in the bedroom, but that makes him a legitimate champion.
You had to do that to the man, didn't you?
So, so I need you guys to be sharing the stream, telling everybody we watch this awesome ass Wrestlecast every week, and go watch SmackDown now. And
Hey,
for my
before we go, Brian, I
totally forgot.
I can't believe you forgot. This is my Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast World Championship, baby.
That is so clean.
Yankee T for life. You see, got the alligator strap. You see that?
Nice.
Do you see
You
that?
know what? We're going to make these straps in 2K24.
Absolutely.
We'll get pictures
Somehow,
and we'll make our straps.
yeah, because I want this belt to be what we fight for.
I agree.
And I see that belt over there hanging on your wall. And I'm just gonna say, I think it would look pretty clean on my other shoulder, if you know what I mean.
Oh. Can't have both of them.
Or
Life, Daddy. Guys,
hey,
for the main man on that side. Nope. How in the hell? There we go. There he is. I hate these mirrored damn cameras.
I know.
For Yankee T, I am Rebel B, and you have just been blasted with the Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. Guys, we will see you next Friday, 7 p.m. sharp Eastern Time. Like 2 p.m. Netherlands time. I don't know. And we'll be back with you next Friday, and we're gonna have a hell of a show. Stay tuned for some draft news from our official 2K24.
In the meantime, again, guys, patreon.com/Yankee Rebel Wrestlecast. Next week we'll go a little bit more in depth on the tiers and what you could get in those tiers if you subscribe with us.
Patreon.
Again, WGG, and use code YR Wrestlecast to get 10% off your order. Energy and hydration. So great for everybody, but we will see y'all next week.
Deuces, everybody.
Deuces.